If you don't stay down and you never quit, come on over here and sit on the far end of the bench.
Hey, guess what? It's Victory Wednesday. As you guys are listening to this.
It's only taken 3 weeks, but we're finally at Victory Monday, Jimbo. Finally, It feels good. It doesn't feel great after what we watched, but it feels pretty good.
It took the Jets being on our schedule, and it took you guys. Jimmy G pulled the Orlovsky. Did you see the tweet? Everybody's seen the tweet, right?
Yep,
the Dan Orlovsky freedom.
Yeah,
it's not freedom because Jimmy G didn't. That was not as bad.
It wasn't as bad.
It looked like the referee was going to have to get in the middle of Jared Allen and Dan Orlovsky at that point because Jared Allen was still going after him. So it's Dan Orlovsky.
And in reality, he saved his team some points. That was a pick six. So it's a big brain move by Jimmy G there, as far as I'm concerned. He saved y'all a pick six.
Well, we got plenty of that to get into. We'll talk about it all. This is episode 110 of the Far End of the Bench podcast. Jimmy Pilato, Niko Bryant, presented by the Variety Sports Network. Every Wednesday is when we drop our new episodes. YouTube comes out throughout the rest of the week. I know I've been slacking. I had parent-teacher conferences last week, so my brain is a little bit fried. I'll get back on track. Don't worry. Do have great content coming for you, so be sure to follow at FEOTB Pod. Follow the Variety Sports Network at Variety_Sports_. And if you follow them on your favorite podcasting platform, you'll get this show every Wednesday, plus all of the other great shows. We just added the Out of Your Falcon Mind podcast. So if you're an Atlanta Falcons fan, new show for you. Follow the Variety Sports Network, and be sure to check out the merch store, bonfire.com/variety-sports-network. You can get your Return to the Jungle shirts or your Ride or Die shirts, because we can wear those again now. Now that both teams are winning, we can wear them.
Things are good. Things are beautiful over here right now.
Those shirts would have been such a waste if we didn't get a win on the season yet. Those shirts would be such a waste. They're so comfy. If you haven't gotten one yet, Gabe sent me a picture, by the way. He picked the right shirt, too. He sent me a picture of him in the Bengals shirt. So, Corty, we appreciate you representing the podcast with your new life and wherever you're listening. But everybody should pick up a shirt, even if you're not one of our good friends. Anyways, Niko, it was a good weekend. We took dubs. You started off the weekend pretty hot. I don't know how you could top your Friday afternoon. Was that planned? Or did your dad just pull up and be like, hey, guess what?
Yeah, so for those who've been living under a rock and don't follow us on Instagram or Twitter, yes, I drank out of Lord Stanley, and my God, was that the most sweetest champagne I've ever tasted.
Apologies to your future kids for the fact that this.
Oh my God, so I'll give the story. So Friday afternoon, my dad has a new client, and he happens to be Val's best friend. And my dad and Val's best friend invited my father to obviously Nichushkin's Stanley Cup party, because he's obviously been in Russia all summer long, so has not been back to the States. And obviously with training camp and preseason literally starting this past week,
he's like yesterday,
back with all that, so he got his night with the cup. So and luckily my dad's friend was very, very kind enough. Shout out Sergey. My dad said, hey, my son's picking me up. Do you think he can come in and see it and just say hello? And he was like, oh, absolutely. So I walk in. First thing I see is this behemoth of a human being and Valery Nichushkin, and I'm like, yep, that's you, all right. Yep, hey, I knew what you looked like.
He's only 2 years older than us. Just put that into context.
He's an absolute unit. That's all you need to say. Yeah. And look, he's not going to play for the first few weeks of the season, obviously, because of the injury, but he's walking good. He looks in shape. That's all I'll say. So I get to there, and I introduce myself. My dad introduced myself to Val. Obviously, very, very kind guy. And
does he speak English?
Yes, he speaks English. Everyone spoke English, but Russian was the main language.
Yeah, so obviously. Especially when the champagne started flowing, it was kind of probably like Miko, like, I lost my ability to speak English.
Everyone lost their ability to speak English at that point. But I introduced myself as Nikolai. For those who don't know, my full name is Nikolai. Yes, it's Russian. And yes, it got me any champagne bottle I wanted for about 30 minutes. So I went in there, I introduced myself, did all that. And then my dad said, are you hungry? I'm like, no, I want to see it. He was like, "You want to see it?" I was like, "Yeah, I want to see it." Like this is the look,
Just show me show me.
Val, you're cool. I want to see it. And I'm here for one reason, and that's that motherfucker right there. So it was in this room. They were taking obviously professional pictures and everything. And I walk in, and I kid you not, I could have sat there and stared at that thing for about an hour. Just looking at it, staring at it, looking at all the little details. I sat there with my dad was talking business and everything. I sat there with the guy that was not the keeper of the cup, not the long-haired white guy, but basically the guy,
backup guy.
Yeah, the backup guy. I sat there talking with the guy, and he was telling me the history about it, how the first 30 teams or so are already on the cup. And the first team, it was the second team that ever won it. The second team that ever won it was the first team to write their names on the cup on the side, and the first team that won it got mad, so they wrote their name in the bowl. So if you look inside the bowl, the first team that's ever won, I think it was a Montreal something. It's not the Canadians, Montreal something. Their team name, athlete, or all the team's name is all in the inside of the cup. And then you go all the way down, and he just told me the history about it. Of course, I looked for the 01 team, which
you found the sheriff.
I found Scott Parker on there. I found the 96 or 97 team. Looked out on there. Saw the Tampa Bay's team there. The Cal Foot's name on there. That's pretty cool to see Cal Foot, 89 foot, both on there. Just a little historian there. Avs. He was telling me that the Avs are going to be put on there, I think after the banner raising ceremony. So he's in town until a banner raising ceremony. Once they're out of town, they have one person in the history of the cup. 3 people have done it. It's been a grandpa, a dad, and now the daughter. Talking about some fucking history. 3 people have engraved each single name specifically on the cup. And man, it is, like I said, you can tell it's not printed. You look at it, you stare at it, you're like, yep, someone wrote each single name in there. It's astonishing. I literally, like I said, I literally could have sat there for an hour. I was in that room probably for an hour and a half. I kid you not. Just looking at it. And as Val walked in, took the picture with holding it up. I mean, taking a picture with family, friends. I obviously got my pictures with it. The shit that I'm going to keep forever.
Just some random guy with a mustache off in the corner, like.
Exactly. And it's funny because I'm like, I don't want to touch it. Like, I didn't really win it. But the guy's like, hell no, touch that shit. I'm like, okay. So like, I had my hand around it like it was my girlfriend, basically. And I'm like,
apologies to your actual girlfriend.
Apologies to the actual girlfriend. But yeah, no, I had my arm around it, which was funny. And then we obviously go out and we coerce with the different family members and everything. Georgie was there, new goalie for the Avs, Georgia, which is funny because obviously he hasn't touched the cup. That's the one guy in the building that doesn't touch the cup. Him and the 19-year-old goalie that we just drafted in the 6th round, can't remember the name off the top of my head, were both there. Both Russians.
Another Russian?
Both did not touch the cup at all, which obviously makes sense. If you don't play, you don't touch it. So it makes sense. But we're coercing and we're about to leave. And then my dad's friend goes to my dad like, hey, you guys should stick around for like 10 more minutes. We're like, why? He's like, we're about to drink out of it. I'm like, hold on. Say that one more time to me, please. Like repeat that one so I heard you right the first time, please. So they bring it out, obviously, in the middle. They pour these bottles of champagne, sparklers everywhere. And obviously, look, I don't know Val very well. I don't know everyone around there very well. So I let everyone have their turn, right? And I'm standing there, and my dad's sitting there with me, and we're like, if we don't drink out of it, we don't drink out of it. It isn't our place completely. We get it. And then basically everyone gets through, and it's still halfway full. and Val looks at me like, your turn. I'm like, yeah, absolutely, I will. Say less. And it's only a sip. It's not like I chugged that shit. But I grabbed that sucker on the sides, drank it, and then I have a picture of me. My dad took a picture of me drinking it, and after. My face is like, oh my God, I can't believe I just did that. Like I said, it's one of those things that I will never, ever forget. It is a once in a lifetime thing. And man, I could not be more thankful of the kindness of Val and the kindness of everyone over there. And man, when I think about my dad could not top himself, My dad just pulls this shit. And I'm like, all right, Dad, like, I get it. You can do whatever you want, whenever you want.
Your dad lives a pretty fucking cool life. There's been a couple times where I was lucky enough to be on the other end of those invites, just like the random Saturday afternoon. Hey, we're going to the UFC. You want to go to the UFC? Yeah,
absolutely.
You just mean like you get to go? Like, okay, I guess I'll tag along.
I sit there and I laugh. I'm like, how the?
What are we doing here?
But yeah, no, I'm very, very thankful for Val, thankful for my dad, and thankful for everyone there getting the chance to do that. Because like I said, that picture, I don't care if basically my neck is feeding into my fucking chin. I have the worst double chin going on in the world. But I don't care.
How else are you? Otherwise, it's just gonna end up all over your
all
shirt.
over me. Exactly.
So
you have to make sure
you gotta tuck it up here. You gotta grab the sides like your big Italian grandmother. Come here.
Come here, you beautiful mother chucker.
You beautiful bastard. You gained some weight. That's
how my weekend started. Yeah, that's so not to do a little story.
Friday was the peak, obviously. Anything
Friday the peak of my life, not just the weekend. My fucking life right there.
If you don't stay down and you never quit, come on over here and sit on the far end of the bench.